spectrum, obviously, of racism, and and then it's I could tell you so many stories there, but it's.
Well, we have time.
I'm sure we do.
Yeah, you see, racism is not somebody just calling you you're a black bee and all of that.
No,
it's more sinister. It's the smug in the face, and I'm so linguistic on it.
There are many faces of racism for sure, and it's not necessarily a contrast of colors, because you can also be racist against your own kind.
Yeah.
Obviously.
And that's another conversation for another day. But I agree with Lil Wayne, who's a R&B rapper, but I've never
hip hop, I think,
actually experienced racism firsthand.
Okay.
Yes.
And I've been to several, countries that have the opportunity to be racist.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Have the propensity for racism, but directly in my face, in my here and now, I up to now, in over 17 years, have not.
And I think this is what I just mentioned earlier: is racism is not somebody calling you. It's so different, maybe you don't experience it physically by calling you names, but there's
faces, shapes and sizes. Honestly, I haven't, I'll put it this way. I haven't sat down to myself and thought, oh my God, that was so racist of that person in any shape, manner or form, whether it's on the bus, the train, work,
obviously because
promotion.
It hasn't faced you straight.
I haven't yet.
Straight on.
Yeah, exactly.
You would have known otherwise. Now.
Trust me, I believe I would have known.
Can I chime in?
Yes.
Chime in.
Yeah.
The voice.
Sorry,
we talk about racism. There's an elder that says this. Racism is not a one-on-one thing. It's a group thing. It's a group that design a system to benefit that same group and exploit another group.
Oh, spot on. I like that. Never heard
Sounds
of
like
it
slavery.
in that
Wait,
regard.
that sounds like employment.
But it makes a lot of sounds like
So
employment.
actually, what he's actually saying is this. Racism is across the board.
Yes.
It affects religion.
Yes.
It affects sex.
Yes.
We all know what is going on today. It affects law.
Yes.
It affects our social connection with each other.
Of course.
It affects every facet of life.
So this is the group that you're
Yeah.
referring to. It's a group thing instilled on one to another.
Exactly. I just want to add one thing to what you said about racism is the nature of my work is I work with, like I said to you, a lot of young people, and mainly they're from the multicultural community.
Yes.
And one thing I keep telling them from the let-go, by the time they refer to us from the Department of Child Protection, from the WA Police, don't use racism as a platform for your own struggle. Use it to uplift you.
Or
make sure.
How about just don't use racism at all?
No. I mean, when you confront racism, don't say, "Oh, I couldn't get the job because of my color." Do your part.
Yeah, exactly.
We live in a country that give us so many opportunities.
Exactly.
That racism should not even come to there.
Exactly.
Does it exist? Yes, it does exist. I mean, it does
sure.
exist in our own community and your own community.
Yeah.
But don't use it as a chip on your shoulder, saying, "I couldn't do this because of that."
Well, Crankston did.
Yeah.
Well, I couldn't
Crankston did. He did let us know of a story of when he went on an interview and he had to update his resume to reflect his Christian white name.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was.
If that's not an example of somehow
that's
withholding
positive racism,
your
you think?
blackness.
Well, I didn't withhold my. So
And you're
tell
saying
me-
you have experience.
No, I haven't.
Okay.
But however,
you
though,
experienced it
Okay.
through
for
his
your
own nature.
for your benefit,
was
and for the listeners who haven't heard that episode, it was several episodes ago. We were talking about when you come here as a diaspora person, and then say you apply for a job, and then they say shortlisting the names of the people who come to the next stage, whether it's the interview or something. What I was saying, or what the general consensus was on that conversation, was that there's a higher likelihood of you being called if you got like English names than Omar Abdul, for example, rather than Joseph Mwansa,
Yeah.
and then in that to that effect, I used to use my previous name, which I dumped. I haven't dumped it, but I just
Because you get the job, is it?
It's in the under the rug
I
somewhere.
relegated it, and then so they used to call me on, and once or twice someone would actually say that, "Oh my God, we thought you were Dutch or something," because of the way the names are spelt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I would have. We were joking. We were having some banter on the podcast that.
But it's amazing that you said that I never experienced racism. Yeah, that was a very clear.
I don't think so.
Somehow.
So when someone says, "Oh my God, that person was racist against me," it's usually from a negative connotation.
I mean, it is not.
Is it still racism?
Yes.
If I get.
Yes. I mean, at the end of the day,
I'm a black dude and I get a better job. How is that racist?
Yeah, but I've been there. I know I could relate to you. I played around with my resume. Yeah. My full name is Abdurrahim Osmani Elmi. I remember I was applying for a job. I had no chance of getting a job back. I remember in UK. So I changed my name into Anthony Hamilton. And within a week, I received like 2 offers. The same jobs. And just trial. I know because obviously I cannot turn up saying, "Hi guys, my name is Anthony and I need to," but just to play the game along, just to see how far it goes. So what I'm saying is like, there's a certain consequences behind it, but I understand why you've done it.
My main point is I haven't necessarily gone home and sat down with myself and felt that the system is working against me.
No. That's not what we're saying.
That's the thing. I mean, that was just a light joke that I thought to bring up.
Like I said,
but obviously the racism you're talking about was obviously more of a brutal nature, would you say? More of brutal.
I mean,
a hate.
I encountered it physically. I was beaten up in the street. Yeah.
That's
so what I've experienced, but again, you're looking at the person that right now, I could sit here and use all the excuses and to demise me, to destroy me, but I use it to uplift me.